What if the difference between a struggling farm and a seven-figure operation came down to just a handful of plant choices? Not more land, not better equipment, not a decade of experience, just knowing which crops the most profitable growers in America quietly built their wealth around, while everyone else kept planting corn at $4 a bushel and wondering why the numbers never worked. Today, we're counting down the 10 most profitable vegetables and specialty crops every serious farmer needs to know about. Stay with me until number 1, because it's not just profitable, it's generational wealth growing right out of the ground. At number 10, we have saffron, the most expensive agricultural product on the planet by weight, and the fact that most American farmers aren't growing it is one of the great missed opportunities in modern agriculture. Saffron comes from the dried stigmas of the Crocus sativus flower, and each bloom produces just 3 threads. That's it. 3 threads per flower. But here's where it gets interesting. Saffron sells for $5,000 to $10,000 per pound on the wholesale market, and premium retail grades push past $15,000. 1 acre planted densely can yield up to 4 pounds of dried saffron annually. Do that math slowly. A farmer in Pennsylvania reported clearing $28,000 from a half-acre plot in her first full harvest season. The labor is intensive, yes. Threads must be hand-harvested at dawn before the flowers fully open, but no other crop on this list delivers that kind of return per square foot. The secret most seed catalogs won't tell you: saffron corms multiply underground every year, so your planting stock grows itself. Plant once, and your input costs drop dramatically by year 3. But saffron isn't the only ancient crop making modern farmers wealthy. At number 9, ginseng has been quietly turning small Appalachian plots into 6-figure operations for generations, and the demand is only accelerating. American ginseng, Panax quinquefolius, fetches $300 to $600 per dried pound in Asian export markets, where it's considered superior to the Asian variety. Wild simulated ginseng, grown under forest canopy to mimic natural conditions, commands even higher premiums, up to $800 per pound, because buyers can distinguish it from field-grown stock. A study from the University of Kentucky's Agricultural Extension Program found that 1 acre of mature ginseng can produce $100,000 or more at harvest. The catch? It takes 5 to 10 years to reach peak root size. Smart farmers treat it like a retirement account. Plant it, tend it minimally, and let compound time do the work. Several multi-generational farms in West Virginia have funded land purchases entirely off ginseng harvests. Now here's where it gets really interesting. At number 8, wasabi, the fiery green paste you've eaten at every sushi restaurant, is one of the most underfarmed crops in the Western world, and the profit margins are almost criminal. Authentic Wasabia japonica requires cold, clean, running water and partial shade. It's finicky. It's slow, and that difficulty is exactly what makes it worth $70 to $100 per pound wholesale, with specialty retailers paying up to $160 per pound for fresh rhizomes. Most of the wasabi served in American restaurants is actually dyed horseradish, because real wasabi is that scarce. A small aquaponics setup in the Pacific Northwest producing just 50 pounds per month grosses between $3,500 and $5,000 in monthly revenue. One Oregon grower reported a waiting list of restaurant buyers stretching 6 months out. The supply simply can't meet demand. Moving from exotic to accessible, number 7 might surprise you. Microgreens, those tiny, tender seedlings harvested 7 to 14 days after germination, are turning spare rooms, garages, and repurposed shipping containers into $50,000 a year operations. Sunflower, pea shoots, radish, and cilantro microgreens sell for $25 to $50 per pound at farmers markets and $20 to $30 per pound on wholesale restaurant accounts. A single 10 by 20 growing tray produces 1 to 2 pounds of product in under 2 weeks. With stacked vertical systems, growers in urban areas are running continuous harvests with startup costs under $5,000 and monthly revenues exceeding $4,000. A homesteader outside Austin reported replacing her full-time income within 8 months of launching a microgreen subscription service to local restaurants. No acreage required, no seasonal wait, just consistent, repeatable cash flow. You might think that's impressive, but number 6 brings a completely different kind of income. Specialty mushrooms, specifically lion's mane and oyster varieties, have exploded in restaurant and wellness market demand over the last 5 years, and the infrastructure required is minimal. Lion's mane mushrooms sell for $12 to $20 per pound at market, with dried lion's mane powder retailing at $40 to $60 per pound in the supplement channel. Oyster mushrooms produce yields in as little as 10 days on low-cost substrate like straw or sawdust. According to agricultural data from Cornell University's Small Farms program, a single 100-square-foot grow room cycling continuously can generate $2,000 to $3,000 per month in gross revenue. The hidden income stream here, and this is what most growers miss, is the spent substrate, which sells to gardeners and composters for $5 to $10 per bag. Nothing goes to waste. As we climb closer to number 1, the stakes get higher. At number 5, lavender is the ultimate dual-income perennial crop that most farmers dramatically underestimate. Dried lavender bundles sell for $6 to $12 each at retail. Lavender essential oil commands $35 to $150 per ounce, depending on purity and variety. But the real money, and this is what lavender farmers in Sequim, Washington have been proving for 30 years, is in agritourism. You Pick Lavender Farms charge $15 to $30 per person for the experience, and on a busy summer weekend, a 10-acre operation can see 300 visitors. That's $9,000 in a single weekend before a single bottle of oil is sold. One family farm in Colorado turned a 6-acre lavender plot into a $180,000 per year business, combining oil production, dried goods, and weekend events. Plant once, harvest forever. Build wealth. At number 4, heirloom tomatoes are outselling commercial varieties 3 to 1 at farmers markets across the country, and the price spread between what stores charge and what growers pocket is staggering. While supermarkets move commodity tomatoes at $1.50 to $2 per pound, heirloom varieties, Cherokee Purple, Brandywine, Green Zebra, consistently sell for $4 to $7 per pound direct to consumers. Certified organic heirlooms hit $8 to $12 per pound in high-demand urban markets. A market gardener in Vermont documented $34,000 in gross tomato sales from just a quarter-acre intensive bed over a single season. The secret commercial growers use? Succession planting every 3 weeks extends the harvest window from 6 weeks to nearly 5 months, smoothing cash flow across the entire growing season. Now let's talk about something that's reshaping American agriculture right now. At number 3, industrial hemp is one of the most legally profitable row crops available in the United States since the 2018 Farm Bill opened the door, and most conventional farmers are still watching from the sidelines. CBD hemp flour sells for $150 to $300 per pound. Hemp grain for food products fetches $0.60 to $0.80 per pound at volume, and fiber hemp contracts with processing facilities are locking in prices at $250 to $400 per acre. The USDA reported that early adopting hemp farmers in Kentucky and Colorado saw gross revenues of $40,000 to $60,000 per acre in peak CBD market years, numbers that no commodity crop comes close to matching. The market has stabilized since then, but farmers growing feminized seed stock for CBD extraction are still clearing $15,000 to $25,000 per acre net. The window is open. It won't stay that way forever. We're almost at number 1, and the anticipation is earned. At number 2, moringa, sometimes called the miracle tree, is a nutritional powerhouse that most Western farmers have never planted, despite the fact that the global moringa market is projected to exceed $10 billion by 2028. Dried moringa leaf powder sells for $20 to $30 per pound wholesale and up to $60 per pound in premium retail and supplement markets. The plant begins producing harvestable biomass within 60 days of transplanting in warm climates, and in USDA zones 9 and above it can be harvested continuously. A single acre under intensive management can yield 15,000 pounds of fresh leaf material annually. One agricultural cooperative in South Florida reported $45,000 per acre in gross sales of dried moringa products in their second production year. The market is young, the demand is surging, and almost nobody in American agriculture is paying attention yet. That's your advantage. And then there's number 1. The black Perigord truffle, Tuber melanosporum, is as close as nature gets to burying money in the ground, and forward-thinking farmers across California, Oregon, Tennessee, and North Carolina are already harvesting it. Fresh black truffles sell for $800 to $1,500 per pound at wholesale. At retail and through restaurant supply, prices reach $2,000 to $3,500 per pound during peak winter season. Truffle orchards are established by inoculating the roots of oak or hazelnut trees with truffle spores, then managing the orchard for 5 to 8 years before first harvest. That timeline scares off impatient investors. That's exactly why the opportunity exists. Show me another operation that produces that kind of income per pound. I'll wait. A 50-acre truffle orchard in Napa Valley is currently valued at over $4 million as a producing agricultural asset. One Tennessee grower harvested 40 pounds in his first productive season, a check worth over $50,000 from a single harvest. This isn't farming. This is land banking with an agricultural return on top. So there you have it. 10 crops that have transformed ordinary plots of land into genuine wealth-building operations for farmers willing to think differently. Every single one of these has moved real money for real people, from Appalachian hillsides to Pacific Northwest greenhouses to Florida flatlands. The common thread isn't luck or scale, it's knowledge, knowing what most people walk right past. If this opened your eyes to opportunities you didn't know were sitting in the soil, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. We break down the numbers behind the most profitable corners of agriculture every single week, and you don't want to miss what's coming next. And before you go, check out the next video on your screen where I expose the 10 biggest money mistakes first-year farmers make that silently drain their profits before they ever see a return. You don't want to learn those lessons the hard way. Smart farming isn't about working harder, it's about knowing what others don't.